Hi, I'm Viv Hayes. This is the VC Hayes video blog, videoed by my friend Mike Rice. We're both artists, and I'm a writer also. So today I'm going to talk about a children's book that I wrote and illustrated called Timothy and Susan's Moon Adventures Stand Up to Bullies. So Timothy and Susan are dog people, just like Minnie and Mickey Mouse were mice, but they were people in the cartoon. So these guys are dog people. So here's Timothy. Timothy was my favorite toy when I was a kid, and the actual Timothy is a little statue, 1.5 inches high. Aunt Rose Pendleton, a friend of my grandmother's, gave him to me when I was about 4 years old. So when I first got him, he was glued to a little black stand, and he had a little red umbrella in his hand. And you can see here in this view, no stand, no umbrella. Well, my brother Galen probably broke them off for me. And so Timothy was my favorite toy, and Galen and I would play make adventures. We had oil modeling clay, and we could make all sorts of scenery. And Galen's toy was called Little Car, which was a Tootsie Toy train coal tender, which is like a box on wheels. And so Timothy would ride in Little Car and have these adventures. So I've loved Timothy. So when I did this book, I did Timothy. So Timothy is a pug dog, and Susan, see if we can find Susan here. Susan is sort of a spaniel poodle combo. So I like to watch the Ancient Aliens program, and they had a hollow moon theory. They claimed that when the astronauts landed on the moon and dropped one of their rocket ship pieces, the moon clanged like a bell, therefore proving that it was hollow. And so in this book, Timothy and Susan, there's no moon on the Earth to start with, and the star people that are all featured in the Ancient Aliens program built pyramids all over the world. Then we had that great flood that's in the Bible, but it's in other cultures also. And in my story, the Earth just tips over and the star people left. So then thousands of years passed, but they brought a hollow spaceship, which we now call the moon. So there are people living on the moon. Luna and Muna are friends of Timothy and Susan, and they're in trouble. So Timothy and Susan go off in their rocket to help Timothy, Luna, and Muna. So there's some mean ant people on the moon that are bullies, and they're being mean to Luna and Muna. So here are Timothy and Susan meeting Luna and Muna on the moon. They go in and see the gray aliens and reptile people. My theory is gray aliens are actually fleshy robots. They're not real live creatures, because supposedly they have no digestive system, so if they were a robot, they wouldn't. So here they're touring the inside of the moon. There's a hotel on the top floor, a fun area on the middle floor. On the bottom floor, there's some pink hairy elephants that are dripping snot. So Timothy and Susan come and say friendly hello to the ant people, and the ant people are mean. They're bullies. So Timothy and Susan say, stop what you're doing. We don't like it. and the ant people are used to getting their way, and they go back to the hotel, and Timothy and Susan ask the hairy pink elephants to help. So they come out, and the ant people make fun of the hairy pink elephants and say, "You're fat, you're ugly, you're hairy." So the hairy elephants spray the ant people with tons of snot and knock them over. And the ant people are not used to that, so they decide they're going to leave this hollow moon. These people on the hollow moon are weird, they say. They don't like it at all. So they get in their rocket and go away and don't come back. So that's what you do with bullies. You stand up to them. So then Timothy and Susan are invited by Moon and Luna to go around in a flying saucer. So they go over to Washington, D.C. And of course our government was saying that there are no flying saucers. But of course there are. So here they go over the Eiffel Tower in France, and they see a flying saucer pop a weather balloon. And the last place they go is over the Egyptian pyramids, which, according to the ancient aliens, the star people built thousands of years ago. So they had a wonderful trip. They say goodbye to their friends on the moon and go back home. And they're happy because they stood up to bullies. So that's that story. So the front here is people bully by telephone. I have a friend that argues back and forth, texting an argument back and forth to her friend, and I figured the way to stop it is turn off the phone. Don't answer. And if a bully's picking on you, turn off the phone. Don't listen. So anyway, that's that story. And so in making this book, I first sketched out like a rough sketch in a ballpoint pen on a scrap of paper. Then I drew it in pencil. Then I happen to have a nice set of drawing pens that won't dissolve if they're wet, so I could outline the pencil drawing, and then I use those felt tip markers to color in. And some of the felt tip markers you can actually wet a Q-tip and rub over it, and it washes it like a watercolor. So that's the artistic side of how I illustrated this book. So thank you so much for listening to my story. Thanks a lot. Bye.